needs runner straight here. And it's not going to happen. Chaz boats up, and I think they probably run it once.
So she's cool with you.
Oh, is Chaz slow rolling? Oh my goodness, Chaz slow rolls the shit out of Seti. And you know, you can see that they're really good friends there. And we also have a ton of awesome content on that. And Preston is going to wake up with aces in one of the blinds here.
I think he's going to just limp it for the extra 10. Oh my god, he's going for a raise. That is surprising.
And the sizing is weird. I like it and I don't at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Would you prefer bigger or smaller?
I think because everyone's going to call the way that the action went, and it's a $20 straddle, I'm really surprised at how small this is, but...
Yeah, it might be because he doesn't feel like he needs as much protection with aces. Like, you can see even, what is that, 4 ways, he's still got 60%. Whereas with a hand like kings, his percent would be a lot lower.
Definitely,
if anybody had an ace, but
like this board. But what I was gonna say was that there's no flop that he's gonna love.
Right.
And the problem is that this is one of the worst flops. And Alex with open-ended and a pair, as well as backdoor flush, is just in this spot. When Alex calls with 2 left behind, you're not feeling super good here.
No, you're definitely not. I mean, and Alex is going to flat a lot of strong hands. I think he would probably just call with even sets. And Alex is just going to make basically the nuts here. And I think Preston's going to check this.
Yeah. No, I'd be hard-pressed to see him bet here.
And the question is, do you think Alex is going to bet this in position?
I see a check. I see a bet. He does go for a small bet. I do like both plays.
Preston having the ace of spades, I think, is a bad card for him because you're going to want Alex to have spades in this spot, you know?
Alex has been shown to bluff, but this spot is not an easy spot to bluff. Preston does call.
Yeah, you're basically only beating spade draws, I think, and maybe hard draws that floated the flop.
Yeah, and an ace would be... Oh, that's a terrible card for Preston. That is a really bad card for Preston. The way that the action ran out, he's still going to have spades that he's going to be bluffing here, and we've seen that Alex is able to bluff in this spot, and Preston is getting a decent price. Yeah, this is rough for Preston.
Yeah, do you think he gets away from this? No, he does.
No.
He does just call.
And, oof.
Looks like Preston's going to be done for the night. Yeah, that's a rough one to end on.
I'm just here for the commentary. Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that.
I hope
you're going to get squeezed off and lose probably $200, $250.
Chaz, I was going to say, I didn't know what he was going to go with, but I could see him shoving here, too.
This flop, which is going to be...
Oh, wow.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, against a blind range, I mean, obviously he's not blind anymore. I think he looked at his hand before calling.
Yeah, and he definitely pressed on this one.
You already said that.
Well,
you can't just do it again.
I was wondering if he would press on. He did press on. just for those who didn't know what the joke originally was gonna mean, and this 6 is actually a little scary for pressed on, because Chaz does have some 10s, and there's a lot of hand calling you on this flop. He's not gonna float as much of a hand like Ace Deuce, and it looks like Preston actually might have like 500 more.
Yeah, this is a very committing bet with a 425 when Preston's only got, it looks like, according to the graphic, he's only got like 600 left. And wow, Chaz is going to float here with ace, or not float, I mean, I guess at this point he's just calling down with ace high on this board.
Yeah, and it's also indicative of knowing his image is that Preston is one of the players who will be willing to bet here with Queen Jack, for example. And wow, this river is terrible for Preston. If Chaz goes all in, he's putting him in the blender here, although Chaz does have ace high, which has a bit of showdown value, but this river hits him.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the hands that Chaz is beating, it's going to be like Queen Jack.
Oh, and he goes all in.
Oh, no. Is Preston ever folding here? Yeah,
He
does make
snap
the call.
calls, and he added on for a lot.
Oh, he had 1,500 behind.
No, that's like 2K. Oh yeah, 16.
16, yeah, 1,600. Okay, so the graphic was incorrect. He actually had 1,600 there, not the 600. So there was an extra 1,000 that was in his stack.
Wow, and I love the jam by Chaz.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Chaz jam there, I would probably never call there personally, because Chaz really can have anything. I mean,
Including a 6, including
a 6, a 10,
a
and
7.
a 7.
Ooh, Preston's just going to go for it.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, you kind of want to bet range here, although this is not amazing for your range. Jacob is very happy to have the 10 of spades, although when we put Preston on hands, he's definitely allowed to have single spades that contain aces and kings. So
yeah, and you're drawing dead to, or close to dead to a hand like King Jack with a King of Spades, Queen Jack with a Queen of Spades, Ace Jack with the Ace of Spades, etc.
yeah, I mean, this is a spot that you got to proceed with caution as Jacob, and I wonder what he does. Oh, this is an interesting turn in which Preston gets some showdown. Does check.
And you can see he's only got 2 outs since the 7 or 6 of spades will not help him.
Oh my
and he
god.
hits the offsuit 7? What was he on the flop, like 3%?
Yeah, he had 2% on the flop.
Oh no. And he's going to jam.
That's brutal.
And also, good of Preston to be cognizant enough to jam for value here. A lot of people will just be like, okay, I hit my 2-pair. Good laydown by Jacob. Chaz, aces, please.
Oh, but he has the other nuts, 7-6 offsuit.
Right, yeah.
And he's up against 2 people with 10-9 off and Queen Jack. A lot of them sharing each other's outs. And not going to get anyone to fold.
Well, this is a 1-2 game, by the way, y'all.
$400 in pre-flop.
No one has a suited hand. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see Chaz actually step a little bit into the lead above most of the hands, and Queen Jack is actually gonna lead for 25. This is a very, very weird bet, just because you're often gonna get re-raised by a lot of hands here.
Yeah, it's almost like it looks like you almost want to induce a raise, which might actually get you raised off less often.
Helping him. Well, now everyone has everything except for Zach. And Zach's actually going to continue on this turn. Now, this is very surprising.
Only Jacob with a spade, but nobody else has an actual flush draw.
Yeah.
And Chaz is the only one with a pair and does make the call.
This folds open-ended. Oh, yeah. No, but it's definitely a good bluff candidate.
Wow. Chaz makes the call with a 7.
With Zach behind.
Zach is not ready for the hands he's about to see.
No, very surprising to see the call there.
She needs to pair the board.
You might think she still got her spades, but she don't know how strong she has spades as well. She just called, right?
Come on, Chaz, pull me
Fireworks, second hand. Let's go. Fireworks, first hand. Bink!
Oh.
Skrilla just gets better.
Yeah, Skrilla's hand improved. Bubble, that's a miss.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh,
start
she
me off with the stuff.
won't be undersold.
Damn, you got a fucking headset now?
500, huh?
Oh, yeah. Is it going to be nice? Is he going to play nice?
No, let's start off with
That's that old school right there.
Would that be any good?
He know.
I'm all in.
and a blue ball.
So you know I got more than that. If you can't beat that, fold.
She missed. He had 2 pair.
What do
You
you mean
see
you're
what
not
I'm
supposed
saying?
to fold? You're beat.
Does he have
What, you got a set of 10?
the 2 cards that make it rougher?
6, 10?
He's trying to talk her into call.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, let me
Okay.
answer.
Do you think you bet 500? Okay. Do you think I'm not? If I put all chips in there, you don't think I'd have to nuts?
No.
Well, I'm gonna put all my chips in without the nuts.
I mean, I know that that's what you wanted to think. I don't want to embarrass myself
How would you embarrass yourself?
by folding my fucking hand.
Well, let's see.
Oh, that was
Let her
Pistol
off.
Pete.
Save your
Yeah,
money
I
for
think
next time.
Yeah, for sure.
I know.
Yeah.
You missed.
Well, that's a true statement. But I got lucky too. I got lucky on the river. I did miss. Can I show her one more card?
No, it's okay. Show me.
Yeah, fuck yeah, show one more card.
I'm sorry, it's worth it. It's worth every minute.
I call. I have a citizens. Alright.
See how you
I
act.
told you I got lucky on
I
the river.
figured.
Hey, you guys just witnessed poker, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
That's old school, new
That's-
school, and that's what happens.
Pokery, that's salesmanship.
That was the fucking go-to thing.
You ever pull the
Rub it on
beauty
my titties.
contest card and you have to walk around and like walk like in a beauty pageant? Oh, flopping a set here, Skrilla. How much better can he run
The
tonight?
best one was Stan
And he's
for Jungle Man.
and
And,
somebody's
Guam.
leading out into him.
That was
He
actually
checked
a
it.
more recent one, but.
Must be beautiful. Check raises all the time.
Y'all
Oh,
remember
that's
that one?
Mike getting a little
They
frisky
did
here.
Well,
seriously Stan.
Skrilla folded. Oh no, who was that the fold? Rocket?
remember it offhand.
Oh,
I know I've seen them all.
Skrilla's getting super cagey with the flat here.
Tournaments in San Antonio.
Well, no, 'cause now the draws get there.
It said like Chaz Lee
You
Gill.
gotta lead out.
I forgot. No, it said like,
This Chasley, I think.
was it? Yeah, Chaz.
Yeah.
And I saw your picture and I was like, this dude
Will
looks
Mike
like
gamble with him?
a molester.
Spades?
That's a good read. You didn't even know?
Watch your
Oh,
slide.
he does.
Because I was with like month over month.
It's all in.
But you
Gambles
like,
with him.
So I was like, dude, I was
Straight draw, flush draw.
And I
Flush
didn't
draw,
like-
straight draw.
Oh, that had to help.
Got there both ways.
I was playing like a bunch of
He
Made
got
the
there
straight
both
and made the flush.
Because I commented, you're like, you're on the starting lineup. I was like, I gotta play.
No, and if people can shoot it, that was fine.
It's a big play.
Look at Rolex with the 3-bet.
And he's dominated.
Chaz
That's
with a
that
pair.
position.
Chaz with a flat with a pair there.
No, that'd be nice.
Boop.
There's a
Oh, we got so close.
Set.
Got a straight draw for Rolex Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Rogers, have you ever been
Got shot.
You can see Chaz with the,
Backdoor.
How'd you get that name?
oh, that's a good card.
Rolex will continue firing.
2 street.
9-10 is already there though.
Go set.
He's all in.
Oh,
Quads.
just, that's it.
4 fours.
Just a little quads. 4 fours.
A lot of fours.
You only got no one number.
Chaz, what are you gonna do here?
I'm gonna absolutely annihilate her.
Bubbles, why do you believe in yourself?
Give it my all.
Chaz,
like
you don't
you
have to
asked
say, but how much LBs do you think you have on Bubbles right now?
LBs? A lot. The number is a lot. What's an LB? Pounds.
Were you in some sort of like arm wrestling school that we don't know about?
I think that's good. I can't discuss this last time. Okay. What's the line? What's the
The
line?
line is Chaz wins.
Yeah, he's at minus 500.
The line is no shot.
Alright, ready?
Bubbles, remember the technique I told you.
Alright.
We think that there's gonna be some shenanigans right here.
Wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh wow! I hope she beats him really bad.
You ready?
3, 2, 1, go!
What is that? Wait, how does this work?
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
Are you betting 100 on this as well?
I'm gonna leave this just happening.
Jeez, I can't follow it actually close enough. Okay, she lost in this too.
Chaz gonna call on the button with ace deuce of spades. It does just call.
Yeah.
And Zach, we'll see if he goes for the. Yeah, it does elect to just flat this time with the queen 10 suited.
Although Preston's not going to have many 8s here.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna have 8s here, or excuse me, an 8 here, it's definitely gonna be Zach in
Yeah.
the big blind. And with the hard draw, I would not be.
Ant-Man might win a $4,000 side pod with 8
You're
high.
right. If it's ace of 5 pairs the board.
Oh my gosh. And Ant-Man's going to win the side pot with 8 high. All in.
Yeah. Gonna shove.
Yeah.
And then immediately acting, and they already
Another good fold.
So you definitely want to target just full colors with his quads as a player a decent frequency at a time. And he does fall. Couldn't be shown the quads. And then he 8.
When that ace hits the river,
Oh,
that's not good.
and I feel, but no, look, yeah, he does fold.
I would have got you a 5.
D. Welcome to Rounders tonight from Rounders Card Club in San Antonio, Texas. Tonight, we bring you the final table of the $200,000 Mystery Bounty Roundup. I am Rude, and with me tonight, my boy and your boy, Bet on Drew. What's up, Drewski?
What's up, Rude? Not much. Excited to see this final table, and you know, we don't get to really watch these all the time, so this is always just really nice to be able to sit back. Even though I would rather be here playing it, it's also pretty fun to be able to just call the shots with you.
Yeah, it's always a good time. We always get a lot of interested parties, people who have fired at this tournament, didn't quite make the final table. You know, I believe you and I were both participants in this tournament early on.
Yep, I was. You know, I did my best. I only actually got to play this one Friday and Saturday, but I played every single flight Saturday and tried my hardest to bag and just couldn't get there, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, I understand that. I tried my hardest too. I know that there are some people that are going to be sitting at this final table that you and I will be looking over their shoulders. And some of those people took a lot of chips off of me.
Yeah.
Now, I applaud them. I'm behind them. I want them to do well. But in the moment, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, for sure. Gosh.
A lot of fun, though. So we had 1,000. What was the number, Drew? We had like 1,223 entrants.
We had
1,223 buy-ins.
Yep. 1,223 entrants. We are down to the final 9. And this is what it looks like. This is the story as it's going into the final table. You know, 300K big blind, little bit of time left in this level, but gosh, it feels so good to get to this point.
Absolutely. You know, this is the payouts. These are the payouts depending on where you finish. However, it's not the complete story, is it?
No.
This is a bounty tournament, but it's also more specifically, it's a mystery bounty tournament.
Yep.
And what that means is that when you knock somebody out, you're entitled to draw out of the drum. It's a random pull, and you're going to pull a bounty. And the amount of the bounty is a mystery until you pull that envelope.
Gosh, it's so exciting. I've pulled a couple of mystery bounties in my day, and just something, the blood pumping. I remember the one time I was playing a mystery bounty, and going into that morning of day 2, I was like, give me one shot, man. I'm going to hit a big one. Like, I could feel it, you know, and I'm trying to manifest it a little bit, but
yeah, sure. You're trying to bring it on.
Of course. But honestly, Rude, when I walked up to the table and pulled my bounty, I got like lightheaded, and I kind of felt like it was going to happen, and then it happened. And
my gosh.
It's just another like feeling. So I love watching. Even when I bust out, I still love watching people pull bounties. Like, I've been watching, I was there earlier today, and just like every time I saw someone was pulling, you know, you kind of huddle up and you're like, okay, let's see what this person Pulls out of here.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling. This type of a tournament really is it brings like a festive mood. People are kind of interested. They're kind of behind you. They want you to draw. Well, actually, if they're still in the tournament, they don't want you to draw the big bounty.
No, no.
They're hoping that the big one is in there. Now we did get some early on. We had some big bounty pulls, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, there was. I actually don't know the timeline, but I remember seeing it. There was a gentleman, his name Mark, and he pulled he pulled a 10K bounty, and he must be a stone cold killer because he did not
Oh my
lose his
goodness.
mind or even really react.
His reaction was nothing. It was like it barely even registered. It's kind of like they told him, "Okay, you're going to park in the 34th parking space away from the front door."
Yeah. I
Okay,
was just
that's my spot.
I was just thinking. I was like, man, you know what? Life goals. I hope to one day have that much money, to where I don't react to like a 10K bounty pool.
Maybe he was just in character. I don't know
Yeah.
what the deal is with that guy. I do know who you're talking about, though.
Oh, that's cool. But he pulled a 20K
Yeah.
then later as well. But
that is just phenomenal.
he showed a little bit more emotion on from what I saw from the 20K. So maybe that's like right where it starts to tip a little bit. Like,
that's the price point, huh?
Yeah.
10K, no big deal. 20K, hell yeah. Buddy. Well, we're looking on, and all the people that are here milling about are our final table participants. They're just kind of getting their seat assignments, getting the chips in order, getting a little background information on the players. Is our director Chad, and their seat 5 is a player that if you're from San Antonio, you're definitely going to recognize Miguel Candelario. Miguel, the professor. He will tell you as he's on the table with you, he is a superior player. He plays at this level. There's nobody at his level.
What does his?
You might get close.
What is his 555 or JJJ on his bio here? Because I see he put the doctor Miguel.
He's
from
a
Cuba,
doctor.
and then 555 or what does that mean? Do you know what that is?
I'm not familiar with the 555 designation, but I will tell you that he's a doctor because he will give you the medicine when you need it. Okay. He's gonna turn the nuts over, and that's the medicine.
Oh my gosh!
That's gonna exactly what you need is what he's gonna give you.
Jeez, that is funny. He's always he does always have that like upbeat energy. I mean, he's just always seems happy. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right when he's
he's always got a lot of energy. He's always got a lot to say. Trust me. And I'll tell you, if anybody were to get paid for words per minute, my guy, I would put if that was an Olympic event.
Yeah,
that's my interest. That's my horse.
Look, he's writing the doctor on that paper right now. The doctor.
Yep. And we see El Nino hanging out. I think he's one of his buddies.
Charlie,
the final table.
Yeah, Charlie made it. Charlie, and El Nino. I knew them before I came to Rounders. Charlie.
Oh, really?
Charlie and George have watched my live stream for many years.
Nice.
So I am.
Okay.
I was gonna say low key rooting for Charlie, but maybe a little more high key.
That's fair.
It's really cool, right?
No, well, yeah, we haven't seen Charlie on any final tables or any cash game live streams yet. This is going to be an opportunity for you to see what he's doing, kind of under the covers, as it were. We don't really know what people are doing, what they're thinking, what they're working with at the table.
Yep. So this is going to be good. He's going to be sitting in seat 3 tonight. He's got 9.7 million in chips, and the big blind is going to resume at 300,000. Everyone. So I think he's one of our bigger stacks, Rude. He's a little over 30 big blinds.
Very good, very good. Charlie has 9.75 million. You said, yeah.
And Charlie's favorite food. You ready, Rude? Noodles. I want to know what it is. Noodles, of course. He says. Oh, look, he says it in his bio. Favorite poker moment: watching Bet on Drew bust any tournament. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
He likes watching you bust.
Yeah,
is that what he said?
Watching Bet on Drew bust any tournament is his favorite poker moments.
Oh wow,
that is funny. He walked me right into that. I didn't even see that coming. That was good.
That's great.
Still rooting for Charlie.
Yeah. And we got Kennard Bowie in seat 7. We do have bio on him. 6.65 million chips.
Nice. So he's got about 20 bigs. From Sand Hill, Mississippi, huh? Favorite food is steak. And biggest tournament score looks like 49,000. Let's go, Kennard. Good luck.
All right.
So it won't be a high score for Kennard, but another notable score. I mean, 20K for, I would assume, a lot of people is a nice amount of money. It did even get Mark's blood pumping a little bit. So first place.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good number.
This
especially
is
for a little, a local.
Rude. This is really cool here. Did you see seat 9? We have Liana, but it looks like she wants to Michelle, but she wants to go by she goes by Nesbitt.
Michelle Nesbitt.
Yeah, you know her?
I don't. I'm gonna have to. I was waiting to see what she looks like on camera. I don't know her by name, but probably by I'd be able to recognize her.
I think so.
If I saw her.
I think so too. She actually stopped me earlier when I was in the club and asked if Hannah and I were still in the tournament. And I was like, oh, sadly, no. But she's like, I know she's like rooting for Hannah. And she ran deep or she final tabled the ladies event here last November, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm definitely excited to see what she can do. She's got over 10 million in chips. So she's got over 30 big blinds. She's in a really, really nice spot.
35 big blinds. She's got, that's a really good stack.
Rude, you ready for this? Favorite food. She says, I'm single, so any food. I dig that. She currently lives in La Vernia. Is that in Texas?
La Vernia. Yeah, it's just down the street.
Just down the street.
San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You mean you haven't been to La Vernia yet?
I'm really bad with directions, honestly, and like maps and.
It's a rural, like a rural community.
Yeah.
Very cool that she's representing her little country folk. I think she put that on the bio too, right?
Did she? I'm looking at her favorite poker moment right now. It says at Kushada on my family yearly trip where she takes her parents. She got 4th place, won 6K. And her parents held her arms all the way to the safe. Oh, that's cute with the money. They're like protecting and like, oh, that's a really cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
We've got let's see. So Michelle's in seat 9, right? We also have Robert Garcia. I've got his name here. I'm not sure what seat he's got yet, but Robert's coming in with 6.175 million chips.
Okay, so he's
also a nice stack.
You said 1.5?
6.175.
Okay, so over 20 bigs.
6,175,000.
Okay, nice. Very doable.
Yep. So that's Robert Garcia from Mankato, Minnesota.
Oh, wow. Over here in Texas. Maybe traveled out for the mystery bounty?
Maybe so. Maybe we had a player last big tournament that was just here on business, or he was traveling with family. They came in to buy prom dress shopping. Remember that?
Oh, that was last tournament.
And he snuck away to play in a tournament and ended up final tabling.
He chopped it.
In fact, didn't he win the thing?
He chopped it 3-handed, and then then I think ended up winning it versus oh my gosh, Dakota. Wasn't it Dakota?
Dakota.
Yeah, because then
I think it was.
Dakota played on the cash game stream later that week, I believe as well.
Right.
And then looks like we got Gabe sitting in seat 4 coming up here in a little bit. Gabe has 2.5 million in chips, so a little under 10 bigs. Favorite food is pizza. And as far as interesting story or shout outs, says shout outs to my 3 girls, Karina, Alex, and Camilla. That's cute. I like that. Good luck, Gabe.
I think one of those 3 is his wife. I do know Gabe. I've played with Gabe quite a bit.
Oh, nice.
Gabe is he likes to play a lot of he's a very solid player. He's going to be I think it's going to be really fun to watch him play. He knows what he's doing around the table.
Mm-hmm.
He's very very thoughtful. He plays a lot of Big O, some PLO.
Yep.
So it's going to be cool to see him
Very cool. And as we continue around the table, everyone, just to get those of you who are starting to tune in and come join the stream, we're going to be getting started very, very shortly. Our players are just combining to the 9 and actually filling out the bio sheets, which we are going over. But here is the snapshot of what we got here in this 200K mystery bounty. 1,223 entries. We're down to the final 9. First place is 20K. Everyone has locked up $1,800, and there's still 8 mystery bounties to go. So there's going to be 8 pulls. We're not sure what the players are going to get as far as dollar amounts go, but this was a 2-day tournament, and yeah, we're going to be getting into the action here very, very shortly.
You know, you say 2-day tournament, but it was we had many flights.
Good
we had
point.
18 flights.
Good point.
So lots and lots of opportunities to get in there. So this is that's how you get through 1,300 players.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. 100%. I wish. Oh man.
Let's see.
I wish I would have been able to fire more. This is so fun.
Now you
I love
really
these.
got that FOMO working now, right?
Big time. Yeah.
I see Rahul. Rahul in seat 5. Man, I'm not sure if it's Rahul, but it's spelled with an H. From Portland, Oregon.
What's up there, Rahul? Good luck.
Rahul's
Good luck.
got 4,850,000 chips. So I enter him. Looks like he's going to have just over 16 big blinds.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Rude, what is wagon wheel? Robert Garcia has his favorite food listed as wagon wheel. Do you know what that is? Is that a Texas thing?
I can say honestly that I've never heard of anyone eating a wagon wheel.
Oh, okay.
Don't know anything about that. I saw that also. But see, that's the dude from Mankato, Minnesota. So maybe they do things differently up there with their wagon wheels.
That's true. That's true. Maybe it's some sort of cheese thing. It sounds like a cheese thing. I'd try it for sure. 100%.
For sure. Let's see what Matt Sanantone. Matt Sanantone is a guy who interacts with us. He's in the chat pretty much most live streams. He's always on there Thursday nights, hanging out with us. He's going to be sitting in seat 2 with 3.75 million.
Okay, so he's got 12 bigs, plenty of fold equity. What's his favorite food, Rude? I'm curious.
Pizza.
Pizza. Oh, I've been craving pizza. That's a good one.
I know.
Looks like
Matt Sanantone.
his favorite poker moment. WSOP Dealer's Choice, cashed last year. Current high score 21-4. And interesting story says, or shout outs, wants to give a shout out to his wife, Mary, and his boys, Benjamin and Dylan.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
There you go.
Good luck to Dad tonight.
Yep. Gotta support Pops. Yeah, so Matt, I do know Matt. I've played with Matt in several of these tournaments here at Rounders. He is also a mixed game player. He likes
very cool.
PLO. Yeah, that that 4-game mix that we had during our series. He's one of the guys who get in there and mix it up with everybody. So he's familiar with more than one poker variant.
Yeah, I respect that a lot because you really have to switch. And I've learned it because I'm trying to get better at multiple variants. But man, you got to switch back and forth your mindset and change the way you're looking at situations. So I got a lot of respect for players who, can bounce around between the games.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good to be able to play a couple of different games. You have options, right? If one game isn't working, the other one's being offered in the card room. Try that one on and see how that's working for you. Also, people have been really getting the no limit hold'em game is really tough. It's really tough to excel, to come out on top. For these guys to make a deep run in no limit hold'em, the fields are just enormous.
Yep. 100%. And I'm just looking over some more player notes. Shout out to Robert Garcia with 67K high score, and he wanted to give a shout out to It looks like Dutler's Bowling Alley. So shout out to everyone
Okay.
over there.
Anytime, it's just so that we're catching up in the computer in the back. So just be aware that by table, the actual
And I
Final instructions at the table.
We're about to get into it, Rude. I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest.
anytime someone busts out and there's going to be a bounty for,
It's
we're gonna
always
stop the clock. We're going to go and focus.
There's a lot at stake.
There is.
Do we know what the size are of the bounties that are still in play?
We'll have to reach out and see here. I am not sure, but I do know that the 20K bounty got pulled earlier. We discussed that. The 10Ks, Brandon Packard. If you've been around the club, you likely have seen him in the past. Brandon has done well in some tournaments and definitely final tabled one of the live streams before, but he pulled one of the 10Ks. The guy who pulled what was his name? The 20K 10K bounty again?
Mark.
Mark. There it is. Yep, Mark pulled a 20K and 10K bounty, so that's pretty sick. He didn't even make the final table, everyone, and he cashed out over 30K just from pulling bounties.
That's a big hit. You know who he's good friends with?
Who's that?
And hangs out and spends a lot of time with Holly, Hurricane Holly.
Oh, Hurricane Holly, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's how I kind of got to know him.
Very cool. And I know I saw at least a couple of other 5K bounty pulls that Rounders posted on their social medias. So those were exciting. One of the guys, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look up his name here because I met him. He played at my day 2 table. His name Alexander Ono from Dallas. He's actually down here. He pulled a 5K bounty, but he's just down here visiting from Dallas with his girlfriend, and they're thinking about moving to San Antonio. And
Is that right?
Yeah, so his girlfriend was like feeling out this job, and she's working like the night shift. So he got to play poker. He's like, oh, okay, she's working, so I get to go play. And then he ends up pulling a 5K bounty. So that's some of the stories
she's not mad. Yeah. She's not mad about that, is she?
No, she's not. She's like, all right, honey, we're moving. he told I saw him earlier in the club, and he's like, yeah, it's really painful. How do you deal with this tournament pain? He's young. I believe he said he was 24, but he's getting into tournaments more, and it's exhilarating to have a 5K bounty pull, make a deep run in the tournament. But then now,
sure,
I told him, it was like, just so you know, kind of like get used to it. This is tournaments. You're going to feel a lot of pain, and you're going to feel empty, and you're always going to want more. And we keep chasing these big moments. But he's young.
It's just so brutal. I mean, it's just death. If it doesn't work out for you, it's just death.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It really is. But yeah, he pulled a 5K bounty, so I thought that was really cool to see.
Yeah, could be the best thing, worst thing to have happen to them. Now maybe he thinks this is how it is all the time. You're always going to pull a big old bounty.
I know, right?
Every time you enter a tournament in San Antonio.
It does not work like that, huh?
Negative.
Oh, but I just found out too, Raul in seat 5 right there, he actually pulled a 5K bounty earlier today. So we do know that.
Okay.
Yep.
I've played with Raul a little bit in the cash streets. He looks like a really, really young kid. In fact, I was teasing him one day when I was playing with him. I was asking if he was 17 or 18 years old, and he very, very composed for a young man.
Yeah.
I was just teasing him, having a good-natured fun, but I was really trying to see what he could take.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear he was as young as he was. So there we go. Oh, we got Raul here in seat 5. He's wondering if it's time to order food. He plans on being here a while. I like this confidence, man. Look out for him, huh? He's like, I'm buckling down. Hello, Chris. There's our dealer, Chris. Waving down service. Out there running right now, we got the Big 50, the special Big 50, 10K guaranteed.
Anybody want service, guys? Yes.
And it looks like we're going to be getting started soon here, Rude.
You got people already clamoring and shouting out for Miguel.
Yeah, we got Miguel.
Got Rocket.
Miguel fans in the chat. Let's go.
Yeah, Rocket. We got see Deborah, Miss Deborah.
What's up there, Rocket? Good to see you. Good to see you. Cheers, brother.
John Anderson
What's up, John?
popped in.
Yep, I see John Anderson there. What's up, John? John got
Drew.
Yeah.
The Wagon Wheel is a restaurant in Mankato, according to Patrick Jewison.
Ah, okay.
That makes sense.
Thanks, Patrick. That's good to know. I see we got a Robert fan in the chat. Amber says, Cato represent. Let's go, Robert Garcia. Hello, Amber. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Cato. That's short for Mankato.
Oh, you know
That's where
what?
the Minnesota Vikings have their spring training, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, okay. I'm calling a bluff here in the chat, Rude. From George Nino says he had nothing to do with Charlie mentioning his favorite poker moment was when I lose tournaments when he's watching my stream.
Oh,
we know George had a part in that for sure.
For sure. At least the target's moved off of me. Remember, he was mad at me.
Ah, that's right. Yep.
In your home game series.
I'll do my part. I do my part.
John Alvarez wants to know if Miguel has told everyone yet that he's the best player.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding? I mean, if he's in a poker room, of course he's said it.
That is so funny. Yeah, John, he actually listed it on his bio as well. He made sure that everyone knew.
Superior player.
Yep.
Come on, everybody knows it. Yeah, it's going to be fun. He is short. In fact, this is back-to-back final tables for Miguel.
Ooh.
Miguel final tabled the last tournament we had. I think it was a 100K tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Remember where father and son, Josh and Ray were on the final table? Miguel was there just for a minute. He was short then. He didn't last very long last time. He's short now.
Mm-hmm.
This time it's going to be hopefully he'll stick around a little bit and we get to witness some of his antics.
I hope so too. Not rooting against Miguel for sure. Thanks for tuning in tonight, everyone. I see on YouTube and Twitch. What's up, Neilio? What's up, Ship It? And hey, do us a favor real quick. If you're enjoying the stream, can you just go ahead and hit the like button for us?
Trust us, you're going to like it.
Yes.
Might as well just take care of business now. Do us that solid. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe. This will allow you to be notified of any streams that we're doing. It'll be final tables, any cash games. We put some pretty good content out there. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
Yep.
And we'll be glad too.
And also, if you're rooting for somebody on the final table, it can only help them. It cannot hurt them. It can only help them, right? Boom. Truth.
Looks like we're about to get started here, Drew.
All right, let's get in there, Rude.
300, and we do have 40-minute levels for the rest of the tournament.
All right, we got 40-minute levels for the final table. Shout out to Dan, our floor for this tournament this evening.
All right.
Hold on, Dan. We're at level 12.29 minutes.
Let's giddy up.
Level 29.
All right, giddy up.
Oh, good. Never mind.
This is what we're looking at here, going into the action. 9 from 12, 23, everyone. First place is 20K. We are resuming the blinds at 150K, 300K.
One thing I want to mention, and is you'll see there's three numbers there, 150, 150, 300.
Mm-hmm.
Small blind is 150, 300,000 for the big blind. And the ante is paid by the big blind player, and the amount of the ante is 150,000. It's always going to be the same amount as the small blind.
That is something special about rounders, doing the big blind, small blind amount ante.
That's right. It does kind of give you a little bit more playability. The one thing to make note of, if you're new to poker, that means that there's 600,000 chips out there to play for immediately before you've even looked at your cards.
Raised 950,000.
Here's Robert. Robert with the ace-4 is going to raise it up.
I played with Robert on a couple of my, it was 1 or 2 tables I played with Robert trying to qualify for day 2. And he already had a double bag. He was playing for a 3rd bag just to
Okay.
try to get a bigger one. He already had a big stack. And he was having a good time. He had a couple drinks in him, and he kept saying, he's like, I know how to, he was basically saying, I know how to play against these pros. He's like, I'm making this final table. You watch. And here he is now. Yeah.
Very determined.
Very determined. Yep. I mean, he talked the talk, but he's here. He walked it as well. So you had to give it up to him.
Now, he's been playing at Rounders for years, since our old location. I've played against him for quite a while. So I guess he's originally from Mankato. There's Michelle, seat 9.
She got a lot of
Good shot of
chips.
her. She's our chip leader. Oh, Johnny Outlaw. Johnny Outlaw, seat 1.
So Matt with the King Jack in the small blind versus this button open. I think he's got a couple of options here. It feels a little bit too strong to fold, but the thing is, Matt's only got 10 bigs, Rude, right now. Roughly 11 bigs.
Yeah.
Charlie's got a 10.
It's very difficult to make. You don't have a lot of moves with a stack size like that. If you do, it's going to be, he's a very, by the way, he is a very patient player. Trust me on this.
Look at this too. Charlie are probably 2nd place chip stack. 7's in the big blind. He's going to put John all in.
That's not a bad move. John's our short stack, one of our shorter stacks, and he could be raising very widely from the button.
Yep.
He happens to have a pretty good hand, ace queen. John will probably take this. He'll probably accept the offer.
I think so. I don't think he's raising here to fold. I wouldn't imagine, even though it sucks having to put it in here early. It could be amazing if he can get a double up here and really give him a chance to try and take this thing down.
Yeah, not only that, from John Outlaw's point of view, Charlie could be doing that with ace-4 or king queen, anything like that. He's still ahead. So we see this is a flip.
Yep, a classic flip. And look at this. What a treat for us tonight, everyone. We don't even have to wait long. We're getting into the juicy stuff. Big flip already.
Good luck, fellas. There's an ace on the flop. So John pulls ahead, looking for a double up for the clean run out, and the 5 of spades is going to guarantee John is going to at more than double up here. He goes from 1.7 million to 5 million chips.
Notable. Very nice double up. Charlie still got a nice amount of chips sitting on 7.3 million. Though it does hurt losing the flip, it's nice that he had a stack that he could absorb it, because this situation here, big blind versus button, pair versus 2 high Broadway cards, it's just going to be going in the middle a lot.
Right. Yeah.
There was quite when we were 10-handed, Rudy and I were following the action, and a lot of the shorties kept like doubling. And then now we finally get here to 9. So it'll be interesting to see. I think the average stack depth, if we look at the bottom here, is probably about 15 bigs. A little bit more than that.
Yeah, it might be a little bit more than that. So that's a pretty good, should be some playability still left.
Yeah, 16, 17 bigs, it looks like.
Okay.
Robert's got the 10-8 suited. He's got about 23 blinds. He's going to let it go. I don't blame him for wanting to do something there. I have a hard time letting go of that bad boy, too. Charlie, after losing the ace-queen flip just moments ago with 7s, now has kings in the small blind.
Charlie's got just over 7 million.
This is going to be interesting, Root. I wonder how he wants to play this. You could get tricky off this stack here, especially if you think Matt's going to overfold the button a lot, and he's like short enough to where you could just call and you know you could still get it in.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what he's going to go ahead and raise it. He wants to keep Gabe out of the hand. But yeah, you're right. It's very important to be cognizant of the stack sizes around the table, not just your own in relation to blinds. You need to know what your stack size in relation to other players is.
Yep. So Charlie's raise gets through.
That kind of allows Matt to safely get away without spending more chips.
Yeah.
It's possible that with let's just say a 10 high flop, Charlie checks to Matt. Matt's going to C bet, 8 times out of 10. And it would have cost him some more chips.
Yeah.
But different ways, different approaches.
Yeah, it's always interesting because all those variables, just depending on the way you piece them together, I think it's never really just like clear cut. Not often clear cut one option available to you. There's some creative ways to play this game, especially tournaments.
The thing about tournaments, when you are short stack and when you get very short stack, you have fewer and fewer choices, right? Fewer options. So there is some comfort sometimes in getting down to 8 big blinds.
Sure.
You know what you have to do.
Nesbitt coming in with her first raise here. She is our chip leader. She's got over 10 million in chips. She's got the Jack 10 offsuit, which makes it 675.
Gabe folded from the small blind with the hand that had her dominated, the Queen 10. But Michelle does take that one down as she does a little business with Desi there in the back corner, one of our servers. Rounders does have a great selection of food and drinks. Nice extensive menu to choose food from. Full bar. It's a great place to play poker.
Rude, I got hooked on something at the Rail Bar and Grill here recently.
What? Did you find something new you liked?
Oh man, it's so good. I've eaten it the last 3 times I've eaten there, I've gotten the exact same thing. I'll tell you about it in a minute here.
Okay. Kennard in seat 7 with deuces is going to let those go. Early position for deuces, maybe a little bit too soon to raise with those. Michelle's going to call with ace-8 offsuit.
I think this can go a couple ways. I thought she was going to raise it first.
I did too.
Since she does have the chip lead, she could continue to be aggressive and see if anyone's really going to fight back. But also, she might see it as, she just wants to play a lot. She has the opportunity to play more pots with these players. She keeps it small. She can still, if she knows how to navigate post-flop, she can still apply a lot of pressure post-flop versus pre-flop.
Yeah, this is an interesting, that is interesting line that she's taking. She does flop top pair, but anybody who had a king would be in trouble here. The thing is she's going against the 2 blinds, so they're not going to put up any resistance, and she's going to take down her second pot in a row. Good for Michelle. With that hand, Michelle is now up to 11.8 million.
Crazy. Those are 20 part of my friend.
And the El Doctor Miguel is our short stack. Pretty close to Gabe. They got about 6 bigs apiece. But plenty of fold equity. If they jam, you can't just call them off. Nesbitt is really the only one who can just make some lighter calls if she's trying to knock out players and collect some bounties. And we'll get the vibe here on what bounties are left very shortly. She comes for a raise here with the King 10 offsuit. A little bit over min. Gets to Kennard in the big blind. He's got about 20 bigs. Looks like he's going to defend with the 8-9 off. We're going to a flop.
Jack and 2 4s. Paired board. Michelle checks. They both check. That allows Kennard to connect on the turn. Catches an 8. He's going to go ahead and lead.
1.5 million out there. And what sizing does he go with here? 1.5. He bets about 1.1. And then he shows the 8. So he just wants to take it down there. Also showing the 8 says, hey, I had it. Trying to keep everyone honest.
Yeah, he also, especially Michelle, the message is specifically for Michelle. Hey, big stack. I'm not messing around. I actually, I don't want any problems.
I feel that. I think that's, I think that can be a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you don't want to kind of get that resistance from the chip leader at the table, right?
The person who can most afford to spend chips trying to knock you out. Johnny Outlaw with a pocket pair. He's got 9s.
Interesting here, Rude. Matt's got 5s behind, and he's got 9 bigs. This is +1 and +2, so 5s might just not be getting out of line versus a raise from this position. Easy fold.
Patient. That's a patient man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it would have felt different if it was more of a late position raise, and then maybe he was in button, small blind, or big blind. But that's not the case.
Plus, let's not forget that some of these guys, these guys have been playing for hours, not necessarily all at the same table, but they've been playing for a long time together. So they kind of get a feel for different player profiles and what their tendencies are. And I have played with John Outlaw, and he's gonna be more on the tighter range, I would say, among the players at this table.
And he knows how to win flips, as we saw earlier. So that's an important
Yeah,
thing.
that's a good skill.
Yeah.
So John Outlaw has moved up to 5th place chip position. He was our short stack.
Mattson +1 here with the 6s. 9 bigs. Puts it in. I dig it. Good luck there, Matt.
Just under 10 big blinds, but that's going to get the job done. It's really key to pick up chips when you can. Now he's up to 3.4 million.
Yeah, that's massive getting those jams through. And with 6s, we're just always happy to take it down. Even though it'd be nice to get a double up, win a flip. But with the shorties behind there, Matt has Gabe and El Doctor to hope to find ladders over at least.
El Doctor. Remember, he's from Cuba.
Cuba.
He's a Cuban doctor. Cuba.
Cuba. The doctor from Cuba. Miguel. Oh, Charlie's got a big hand here. Do you think he says yes, Jacks, or oh no, not Jacks?
I bet his feeling is different depending on the position in relation to the button. Most of the time, I think the vast majority of the people in the tournament field are going to be thinking, "Oh no, not Jacks." But he does raise.
Got to do it.
2.5x. The blinds have gone up. I don't know if I think we failed to mention that they're now 200, 400,000.
John's got a decent hand here. He could definitely defend with the King 5 of diamonds. I also think if he wanted to get real cheeky, he could make a small 3-bet, try to get a fold, but he makes the call.
And he's going to be first to act. That's a great flop for jacks, Drew.
I agree.
However,
Yes.
I don't mind telling you.
Tell me.
Well, you know, the 8-7 is something that somebody calling from the big blind could definitely have in their range.
For sure. Definitely going to be some interaction there.
You know, he's got some backdoor possibilities also with a 5 and 2 diamonds.
Charlie decides to go with a sizing here that I think is just going to put John to a decision whether he wants to play for all his chips or not.
Yep. Well done, Charlie. Well done.
So, Rude, my favorite food at Rounders right now, I discovered it last Thursday during the cash game stream. Richie Rich, I've seen order this at least a handful of times now, and I would smell it, and I probably asked him at least twice, like, what is that? He gets at the Rail Bar and Grill, he gets the grilled chicken. No, I think the blackened chicken, but then you get to pick 2 sides. He gets the Spanish rice and then broccoli, and it's like kind of like a healthy dish.
It's a bowl.
Yeah, it's a bowl. Yep, all in a bowl. So you got Spanish rice on the bottom, the chicken,
yeah,
the
that looks
broccoli.
so good. I didn't know. I wondered what you guys were eating. I saw that on the stream, and I was like, "That's a bowl of something," but it's not on the menu.
Yep.
He just kind of created it. Was it good?
It's great. And now I add. What's Raul gonna do here? He's got Queen 9 suited. Definitely a tough fold, painful a little bit. Yeah, but I add tomato, avocado, and I drizzle a little ranch over mine, and it's heaven, man. It's heaven.
Ranch.
Yes.
Was Richie okay with you modifying his dish like that?
I haven't. This might be the first he's hearing about it if he's watching the stream.
Robert's gonna raise 1.3 million, so he's going over 3.1x. Pretty big size. Ace deuce suited.
Now, I think the function of this bigger size is to really induce more folds and not allow any funny business, force our opponents to play a bit more straightforward.
Oh, and look what just happened. Matt Sanatone thought that was an interesting size raise. He 3-bets him, and Robert snap calls him with the ace deuce suited.
Yep.
That's
fair fight. King queen versus ace deuce. The king queen, Matt, is at risk.
There's a queen on the flop for Matt. And an ace on the turn for Robert. River card is
another ace.
Another ace. Trips for Robert. Robert makes trips, and that's gonna eliminate Matt.
GG's Matt
from the final table.
Matt is not a stranger to the final table streams here at Rounders. So nice run, Matt, and a nice hand. Robert picks up a 6.7 million chip pot.
Very nice. That's gonna be Matt's gonna be our first elimination from the final table.
Yep. So now Matt is going to get 9th place money, $1,800, including whatever bounties he might have pulled up to this point. And our remaining players at the final table have now locked up $2,200. $2,200. And shout out, by the way, to some people in the chat here. I see Miss Lorianne Persinger. Hello. How are you? What's up, Ghost, the mod with the most? We got the $100 bounty pull there for knocking out Matt. Robert gets some extra money.
What's the name? Just texted me. Brandon.
What's up, Sugar Free? Oh, buddy, I was rooting for you to make the final table. Sugar Free was down to the final 2 tables, and he had a really big stack going into the day 2.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm. But he introduced me to the biscuits and gravy. The biscuits and gravy at Rounders are also well above average, because my fear with biscuits is that they're dry, and these just aren't dry. It's a nice sauce. Oh, you got to try it if you get a chance, everyone.
I remember, Drew, you and I were sitting next to each other in a tournament, and they brought you the biscuits and gravy, and you were eating them during the tournament. Honestly, I think you just forgot you were at the tournament. You forgot you didn't play any hands for about 25 minutes, whatever time it took to eat the dish. You loved it.
I did. Look at this.
Here we go. Gabe's got a big hand here.
Gabe's got
under the gun.
Yeah, the old ace king of clubs, and he's got 1.9 million in chips. He knows he's going all in, or he's not. Nope, he's saving 500K for the road.
Okay, just in case.
Yep, playing a little of the old psychology game with the table. Like, I'm not all in. Am I weak? Do I happen to have a weak hand here? Am I just trying to get you to fold so you don't hear, anyone say all in? Maybe catch someone sleeping?
Michelle makes the call. Does not put him all in, just calls.
Yep. I see Samantha in the chat, speaking of Michelle, says, Team Michelle all the way, take it down. She's got a good shot. She's chip leader.
Charlie's got 400,000 in there already, so it's going to be another 1 million for him to call. So now we're three ways to the flop. Gabe is, well, assuming he's going to put his 500,000 chip in, he'll be at risk.
Ooh.
Oh, when he just flops Broadway with flush draw. My goodness.
He's got a royal flush draw.
Yeah.
Checks.
And Charlie has flopped the bottom end of the straight.
Checks around. Look at this. Now Charlie's got a diamond draw, though. He can come from behind. And he also flopped the bottom end of the straight.
Yep. Gabe's going to slide his last chip in.
Yep. And Nesbitt is
reluctantly, but not reluctantly.
She's going to let it go, and we're going to
flop indeed.
Yeah, we're going to get them on their backs here. This is an interesting Rude. Anything can happen here, man. 7 of diamonds is crazy. That gives Charlie the straight flush. The 10 of clubs is crazy. That gives Gabe the royal flush. They both flopped the straight.
Oh, the 9 of hearts doesn't change the outcome.
Rude, I'm not going to lie. I was rooting for a little bit of pain there just because it presented itself. 7 of diamonds, but past that, that was a sweaty flop. That was a fun one.
That really was. That was something. Miguel delivering his analysis of the hand at the table.
That's what doctors do, right?
That's what doctors do. They give their diagnosis. So with that hand, Gabe is going to move up to 4th place, is it? Or 5th place? I missed it. It went flashed so quickly.
No longer down the bottom. And he got some extra chips there, too, because Michelle called, so it was more than a double. It was a really nice pop.
Oh, it was a huge pickup for Gabe.
More than that. So a massive pop for him.
Yeah.
I was there in the screen, like, I'm talking about not even looping, huh? This not even makes sense. I swear to God.
The doctor is not happy with the cards that he's being prescribed currently. He's like he's even Rude. He's even saying he'll settle for ace queen right now. I don't blame him.
Robert, he's got a suited king, but he's facing a raise from Kennard right in front of him. The longer that Robert takes, the less confident Kennard feels with his raise with Queen Jack offsuit.
Robert might have a read here. He's not letting go of the king 4 suited quickly. There he goes.
He was thinking about making a little hay with that.
I respect it. I dig it.
Yeah, he's blocking ace king. Blocking a lot of strong hands.
You could put 4 down. I can't. Now you paying me.
Kennard got to pick up. So Gabe's just under. He's up to 4.875 now.
I think part of Robert thinking about something there with his king four suited. I think while he might have been thinking about doing something, I also think taking your time there, making your opponent sweat a little bit, you do gain something from that. You know, you take a little bit from them slowly. It's like a little jab there, and
No doubt. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Kennard did not feel comfortable the longer he was taking with that.
Yeah. I think that's a interesting part of tournaments as well. These like little side things where you can drain energy from your opponent, or you slow them down, you make them think. You know, you kind of give them different gears.
All right, the doctor's going to jam.
Rescan your cards, please. Rescan your cards.
Oh, he must have got his ace queen finally. Oh, the doctor's got the king nine, Rude.
Under the gun, king nine offsuit. Under the gun, good enough.
He's got 4 bigs. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's probably right. I would say it's probably the right play. It's probably a little weaker than he would like. Gabe has ace jack. Let's just say El Doctor has 2 million. I mean, that's a significant part of Gabe's stack, and he just got those chips, right?
Yep.
What do you think here, Drew? In the small blind, ace jack, chance to eliminate somebody for a bounty. What do you think?
If I knew that the like 20K, 10K bounty were still out there, this is a super easy, just all in.
Yeah.
I cover big blind as well.
Right.
But if there are only small bounties out there, then it makes it a little bit tougher, because now we're just playing like a normal final table. Does he want to risk this? What does Raul's range look like here?
1 million.
You know, as we can see, obviously it's easy.
So if there were no bounties, how likely are you to make this call, given the stack sizes?
Versus under the gun, he's only got 4 bigs. I kind of like gambling here.
Okay.
I think
so now you add the bounties in there, so now it's even more likely you're going to make the call here. That's kind of where I was getting at. I think it's the fact that you've got to assign a certain amount of equity to the bounties that are still in play.
For sure. Yep. And you know what? I'm actually just getting word that there's still a $5,000 bounty out there. So with that said, if we look at the payouts, that is a notable amount of money. I believe that's top 5 pay. I'm excited and happy that I get to get in versus a shorter stack,
right,
and try to get that bounty.
Absolutely, because 5,000, those are updated chip stacks. 5,000 is the equivalent of 4th place money. See there?
Yeah. So that's just, I mean, that would motivate me more than enough. You know, 4th place money, not going to be fully at risk. 1 player behind who I cover. It's just worth so much.
So with that, Miguel is up to just over, well, it's right around 6 big blinds now.
Feeling good. Feeling good. Looked like the doctor was trying to bury those cards in the reader for a second there. But he's gonna.
You know, Drew, I was playing this afternoon near my house, and I was getting word just at the table where I was, which was a cash game. They were talking about Miguel being still in the tournament. That's how.
Legend.
Yeah, that's it. People are kind of following along. They want him to do well.
The doctor's like back to my normal distribution, 3-4 offsuit.
Gabe raises and takes it from the button with ace king offsuit. Miss Deborah, the 20K bounty was collected by Mark. Oh, tell me his last. Do you remember his last name, Drew? Mark
Reiser.
Reiser. Thank you.
Yep.
Mark Reiser.
Not only a 20K, also a 10K.
Yeah. Well,
ball.
Let's say he got more than his share of bounties.
30K minimum in bounties.
Yeah, John, I think that's what the conclusion that we came up with also. Alvy is in the chat saying he thinks that Gabe's fold was kind of tight. from the small blind with ace jack offsuit. But again, Drew, his range is going to should be tighter than king 9. Under the gun raise should be tighter. But then again, he only has 4 big blinds.
Speaking of under the gun raises, do you see what Robert's raising here under the gun?
Oh my goodness, what a
The
creative
4 Dewey offsuity.
It's almost as if he thinks people are watching and he's showing off.
I think he is just the mayor. He's got to be the mayor of street poker here. He just understands what it looks like when he raises under the gun. Now, I'm not sure if he really noticed how much El Doctor has, but he knows he's committed. So now we got the deuce 4 offsuit on the back, the Doctor with the ace 7 offsuit.
The look he gave, he kind of craned his neck and turned his head. He's like, oh my God, that's what called me. But, you got to be happy.
5K bounty. I mean, he could hit it right here if the deuce 4.
There's a deuce.
Deuce hits.
He hits a deuce. There's a queen. Now he's got running. He can go hit a 10, a 7, or an ace, Miguel, to stay alive.
Wow.
To stay alive.
The Doctor with
give the medicine.
The Doctor is in, Rude.
Oh, look at this. You got deserve to get out like that? I deserve to get out like that? Caught the guy speeding and get beat by the dude?
Caught the guy speeding.
No.
1.875.
I'm not sure anyone deserves to lose to the deuce 4 offsuit when someone's speeding. I don't think it's just a Doctor. I think it's any of us. Even though we know we're not surprised when we see that deuce either. We played enough tournaments, right?
That's true. That's true. It's even more painful.
But it was a big time combination. 8, 10, deuce 4, come on. It was embarrassing to get out of this tournament and find a table with that.
Robert focused though. Robert is unfazed by losing to the deuce 4 off. Just another day at the office for Robert, it looks like.
Look at Michelle. Deuces under the gun. What's going on with our under the gun players, Drew? Man.
I like it. I think these players kind of know what it means to be raising under the gun, and they're taking advantage of it here. There's short stacks, a lot of decision stacks at the table. So, this looks strong. This is going to force people to make some tough decisions. I like seeing it. This is exciting. We got a street poker final table going, Rude.
Yeah, I see that. These guys are getting the medicine. Matt Santone. Nice run, Matt.
Nice run, Matt. GG's.
Yeah, he's in the chat now with us.
Hey, don't name me.
That's not good. It's not good for poker. Now watch. Go to the side. Watch the comment. Wait till the meeting.
Robert with ace 8 suited is gonna. Oh, Raul's gonna 3-bet from the cutoff with the suited ace. He's all in. Jams for 3.3. It's only about 3 times what Michelle has already raised to. She's getting 3-1 on her money.
Yeah, this is a tough call here, I think, to make with the deuces. I don't think our plan when we raise under the gun there is to be raised calling off. Unless we're super committed, of course. We did just see the deuce 4 off call off, but yeah, I think that Raul had just a little bit too many chips.
Yeah.
Though Rude, it does get closer because of this 5K bounty that's still out there.
True. What did you notice what her raise amount was? It was she had 2.4 to call and he had 3.3, so 1.2. She made it 3x. It's a pretty big raise. I mean, if you're going to raise 3x, maybe what we want to do in that situation is not raise that much. Maybe you want to do 2.0, 2.2x, 2 times the big blind, 2.5 times the big blind. You're saving some chips. If you go 3 times, I think, maybe you got to stick it in there. I don't know.
It definitely gets close. I think that whether you're raising 2 or 3x, I think if you're going to be raising a lot more hands, you can benefit a little bit more from a smaller sizing. If you're going to be raising a bit tighter, especially in ICM situations, you can go up to 2.5, 2.6, and even 3 if you think you're at a particularly sticky table. I do think that raising between like 2.5x, 3x, and then maybe even more than 3x, as it is not uncommon to see those raises in tournaments around local card clubs and things like that. So I do think that it does affect folding frequency, though, the bigger those raises are. So it's an interesting sizing to see, and I think the function of it might vary depending on your style of play.
So I have a follow-up question for that. I like everything you said. I agree with everything you said. Let's watch how Kennard is going to navigate his hand from the cutoff. 2 kings. In Texas, we call them cowboys.
Just in Texas. Let's see here. So Kennard sounds like he's making it, just a hair over 3x as well. Makes it 1.4 million.
Larger size raise, in my opinion.
Now, this is definitely where I think I would I would definitely myself be raising smaller here, hoping to get a call, get some action, maybe allow someone to think I might fold if they jam a bit more. But again, too, with the being a middling stack here, kind of, maybe if he wants to handcuff our chip leader there, Nesbitt, aka Michelle, in seat 9. It looks like he doesn't want to get too much resistance right now. So it looks like Kennard really just wants to kind of pick up pots, stick and move. It feels like might be a part of what he's trying to accomplish right now.
That's the second hand he's shown that he's raised. So he's wanting, so that means that he's either wants to make everyone know that he's playing straightforwardly, he's raising with big hands only, or could be some marketing for down the line, for future.
Yeah, definitely like to set up and raise with a weak hand to the same size, and when he really wants to get a fold, the first thing that's going to be in the player's mind is like, oh, I remember he raised to this size and he had kings. So I definitely agree with you. The John C. What was the buy-in? This was a $200 buy-in. It had 18 day 1 flights. And this is day 2. So players resumed earlier today, 12 o'clock Texas time. And they made the final table about 8 o'clock, I believe. So we've been here for about an hour or so.
We got Rodney in the chat under the name Somos de Cuba, backing up his boy, shouting out El Doctor Miguel. And Drew, it looks like we had a raid.
Shout out to Donkey Poker. Donkey Poker. Thank you, buddy, for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody.
That's awesome.
Hanging out with us here tonight, watching this 200K final table at Rounders Card Club in San Antonio, Texas. 20K for first. 20K for first, everyone. And there's still a
first plus bounties.
Plus the 5K bounty that is still in the mix. Folds to Nesbitt. Once was chip leader. She's hovering around second or third. She raises the queen 9 off in the cutoff.
Charlie,
actually,
table hand from the small blind.
She called, so that makes a call for Charlie.
Gabe's got suited cards. He's not required to put any more chips before he sees the flop, and he will check and wait to see what develops.
Rude. He doesn't want diamonds. I'll tell you that.
No. Ace Jack 10. Michelle is open-ended. Charlie has flopped 2 pair, and Gabe will get away cheaply. It's a monotone board, all spades. Nobody has a spade in their hand. Checks around. There's a 3 for Gabe. Is this gonna? Yeah, there's just too many big cards for Gabe to be interested in this and continuing.
Let's see if Nesbitt, if she wants to continue. Charlie bets 1 mil into a pot of 1.4 mil. She's got the open-ended. She has no spade, though. Charlie's got 2 pairs, so he's got to start betting his hand. Charge the flush draws, 1 pair hands with potential straight draws that might still continue. Doesn't want to let him get there cheap, Rude.
That's true. Okay, it's going to work for Charlie. Takes it down with 2 pair. Yeah, Yoda, there's definitely a delay. We're on at least a 15-minute delay. And to answer the question for Lori Ann, the minimum bounty, we just had somebody pull a bounty a couple of hands ago. It was $100. We don't really have a list of the remaining bounties, but we do know that there's at least one $5,000 bounty remaining.
Yes, that is the information we have available to us. I see we got a lot of Doctor fans in the chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Your man already got double up once. He's got a very competitive stack.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much tripled up his stack, the stack that he sat down with, hasn't he?
John's got a nice one here, the ace-3 suited. How does he want to play it, though? He's got 3.4 million chips, less than 10 bigs at the 400K big blind level.
Was that 1.3?
Looks like 1.3 confirmed. 1.2 looks like we got.
Okay. Raul really hasn't had many opportunities to get in the mix. He did manufacture one, though, to pick up some much-needed chips. John Outlaw is going to pick up those chips, and even with that, he's still going to be our short stack. 4.2. He and Raul are pretty much tied. And Gabe for that matter, is at 4.7. Very similar. 3 very similar stack sizes. Actually, they're pretty tight, Drew.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, they're very, very tight, these stacks. Which I think is cool to see, you know, how players play this stack, because I think this stack depth, like sub 20 big blinds, 15 bigs, 10 bigs. It can be an uncomfortable stack to play because you can feel that you're close to your all-in, right?
Right. Just like now, we got John with 9s. Very meaty. This is a 5x raise. So this is this is a nice segue into the question I wanted to ask you. We were discussing our open sizes, right? Whether 2.0, 2.2, 3x. Here we have a 5x raise. When someone raises this big, Drew, does that make you more inclined to call or fold? Obviously, you know, you have to figure out what you have to play, what you're dealing with in your own hand. But let's say you wake up with let's say king queen suited, and you're facing a 5x raise. You're blocking kings, or maybe you have it. You know what? Change that. Let's say you've got ace 4 suited, and you're facing a 5x raise. Is it a deterrent, or does it encourage you to try to get creative?
I think that it's definitely gonna increase my folding frequency. I think anyone's really.
Well,
So
that's the intention.
yeah, 100%. I think I don't want too much conflict or confrontation here, and I'm happy just taking the blinds down. I think that's the main function of it, and it definitely works, because if you think about it, somebody puts out 5 blinds, you got a call, you got a 10 big blind pot. Look at average stack depth. So now here we got 2 pretty hands. The doctor on the small blind has the jack 10 of diamonds, and king queen suited for Kennard. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see.
Kennard's going to answer. His response is a raise.
Oh. I got a big pot relative to the stacks here now. The doctor's got 2.7 mil. The pot's up to 4 million. And this is definitely 2 hands that can both connect with a lot of boards.
Top pair for El Doctor. He's going to check it to Kennard, who goes all in. Snap call by El Doctor. And he is in good shape. It's a 4-1 equity here for El Doctor. Kennard is going to have to catch.
You have to conduct. Yeah, you want to get lucky on the. I got lucky. I ain't got the best side. Yeah, well, I'm going to be lucky too. It's not cool. What are you supposed to be behind? No problem with that. Trust me, that's the way it is. What do you think they happen?
Looky here. We have a new chip leader, Drew.
That's crazy. Where are my El Doctor fans in the chat?
El Doctor with that is going to move up to 9.3 million chips.
If you're out here supporting El Doctor, type 1 in the chat. Show some love. Hit the like button. That's exciting. That's a big pot.
Yes. Type 1 or type aquí.
He said earlier, when he doubled up versus the deuce 4 off, that had he busted, it would have been bad for poker. And now he's chip leading. So this is good for poker, Rude.
This
according
is good
to the doctor.
He's got the chip lead, but not by much. Charlie and Robert are still right, and Michelle. Michelle's right there at 7 million too. 7 million as well.
And Kennard is down to 10 bigs, tied with 2 other players. So still a very, very reasonable stack. John believes now that the doctor is favored to win after that big double up. We'll see how the doctor works on a big stack now.
Medicine. Robert's gonna jam with 7s for God, that's just a huge raise.
Looks like it was Kennard had about 10 bigs. So when Kennard calls a small blind there, I think it is especially here. I like the jam with 7s, even though he had more than that.
I didn't realize. Yeah, no, you're right. I stand corrected. I didn't realize that Kennard had entered.
Yeah, he just called.
You know, poker is a game of communication. When you're raising, you're telling people you have a good hand. If you re-raise, you're telling that guy that you have a better hand than he has, even though you know that he thinks he has a good hand. So when a guy raises big, 5x, 5 times a big blind, that's communication. You say, look, I'm strong. You guys get out of my way. If you jam over the top of him, you're saying, I know that you know that I know that you know that I know you're strong. So you get out of my way.
The leveling war.
That's
I
right.
love it,
It's
especially in
communication.
tournaments.
Somos de
Wow.
Cuba sent a little love to the channel.
What's up there, Somos de Cuba? Thank you for the $5 super chat, bringing that energy for their man, the doctor, Miguel.
Love
Thank
it.
you for supporting
Love
the
the
stream.
support. Love the support for us and support for Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel Candelario. The new chip leader.
Looks like Raul raised the queen jack off here to about 850. So more of a standard raise these days, Raul going with. It looks like we are waiting on our graphics to catch up here, but I believe it is on Nesbitt in seat 9 to make a decision.
I like Raul's raise size, especially with he doesn't have a whole lot of chips.
Yeah, I think too, by raising smaller on his stack, it allows for him potentially to raise and fold if he wants to be doing that more versus overcommitting too much of his stack and then being in a spot where he knows he's likely not going to be calling off this queen jack offsuit and he's trying to get it through. But this is a good point to make, Rude, because now we see that even these raises are getting through as well. So maybe these smaller raises could be as effective as some of these bigger raises, depending on who you're raising into, what their stack looks like. So it's all really intricate, I think, in tournaments.
Yeah, there are lots of different variables that have to be considered, but I think the thing that you mentioned is that you want to find out what size is going to work to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I like that. That's the
And
fun part of
and
tournaments.
don't spend excess chips. Don't waste excess chips. Don't bet more than you have to bet to get the job done. That's
Where's that line? That's what we're always trying to find, right?
Yeah, it's important. You got to try to find it.
We're getting all in from Kennard here in the cutoff. He's got the ace of diamonds, deuce of spades, 9 bigs. And he's going to get it through.
I got it right here. I got a new dealer coming in.
All right, Drew, we've got a new dealer coming in. That was Chris.
Yeah.
That was Chris's down, and now we've got Cruz, a new member of the Rounders Tonight stream. One of our
Shout
great
out to
dealers.
Cruz. Yep.
Cruz coming in. We are at the 200, 400,000 level still. That means there are 800,000 chips in there to play for before you've even looked at your cards.
Yep. We had 1,223 entries in this tournament today. We're down to the final 8. This is what it looked like as we went into the final table, everyone. You can see the payouts on the right, 20,000 for first. The 8 players remaining have all locked up 2,200 plus whatever bounties they may have pulled at this point. So the exciting part about tonight's stream, you get a little bonus sweats. When players get knocked out, we get to see who is going to pull the remaining bounties, which includes a $5,000 bounty.
Did you take it down, Big Up? Excuse me. Did you take it down?
Yeah, we did a three-way drop.
You could have took all the way. You had a lot of kids. No, we had a lot of kids.
So we're back in the action here.
At this blind level, we've got an average of 15 big blinds at the table among the remaining 8 players.
You think I have a head there? You think I have a head there?
Looks like Robert's got a hand. He's likely going to raise. If he likes the deuce 4 off under the gun, I imagine the ace 10 is a clear raise in the cutoff.
Yeah, but king that I raised, he re-raised like jam. And all the bluff, all diamond. I'm dead. Yeah, he had ace queen of diamonds. Oh, he flopped it. Yeah, he flopped it. He flopped it. But I got it all in.
Robert
Yeah,
takes
I got
it
it all in.
down,
You know what I mean? I got it all in. You know?
picks up a few much needed chips. Good job for Robert.
Shout out to my man on the rail there for chopping the tournament. Sounds like his king's held. Must be nice.
Oh, the blinds have gone up, Drew. So we're gonna have to redo that.
500,000 chips, huh? 500,000 chips to play. We started this tournament with 40,000 chips, everyone, and now the big blind is 500,000. That's wild to think about, isn't it?
It is.
It's a lot of chips.
It's crazy. Yeah, so with a blind level increase, that's going to be 13.4, 13 and a half big blinds. Miguel wants to see some flops.
He does. He thinks he does, but actually, if he knew what Raul has, the kings here, I don't think the doctor would want to be in here. I don't think he would prescribe this.
He's in horrible shape right now with these exact hands.
Let's see if the doctor's got something up his sleeve here with these 3 cards coming out.
That monotone flop is going to miss all of them. All of them, all 2 of them. Miguel with a quick eject of his cards. And Raul's going to take that one down.
What's up there, K. Bruce? So it's getting to be an all-in or fold. The old AIOF, huh? You know what? You might think so with these stack depths, but I actually still think that there is a bit of room to be in this scenario, raise folding, maybe even doing some creative limping. But I think if everybody was subscribed to the same kind of poker strategy, you would be right. You would be right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I think things are going to really change dramatically. I think they have very similar stack sizes. I do think there's still a little bit of playability. The thing that's going to be interesting is if we get a couple of quick knockouts and the stack sizes are going to be, let's say, concentrated in 1 or 2 seats. Those guys are going to have a lot of play. So it's going to be funny. It's very elastic. Like things will really change even as the blinds increase. If the stacks increase and concentrate in 1 or 2 spots, it'll have an effect opposite of the all-in or fold. Johnny Outlaw from the cutoff, raising it up. Jack 9 suited Jack for Charlie as well, but he'll let those go. I like this raise sizing. This is a little bit more reasonable in my opinion. 1.2 million from a 500,000 big blind amount.
See, this is one of those situations where I think if John got put all in, he would still be finding a fold, even though he'd only have 3 million chips behind, which would be 6 bigs. Because 6 bigs is still basically, I think what's important in tournaments is to still have that superpower of being able to apply pressure to your opponent's stack and get folds. And even though the fold equity, and even though it's just 6 bigs, it's still powerful. You know, if you look at the stacks here at the bottom, 3 million chips is notable. It's over 30% of our chip leaders stack and L Doctors. It's half of Charlie stack, Nesbitt. So it's still quite powerful.
Man, look at the stack sizes now. They're just so equal. Gabe is a short stack at 3.6. John Outlaw folding a ace 6 offsuit in late position allows Charlie to enter with the king 9 offsuit.
Looks like Charlie's coming in for a million raise.
Yep, 2x.
Rude, you like this one? A little
I do.
2xer?
Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. It looks like it's going to work. He's just got to get through a doctor who actually has a hand that's playable. Nice playability. Queen 10 offsuit. He does call. Another monotone board. This time it's spades. Neither player having spades.
So this is a cool spot, Rude, where I think Charlie can just bet really small if he wanted to. And a lot of players, when they don't have a spade, they're just going to give up. But now he has to deal with the lead here.
Correct. Yeah, Charlie checked behind, so Miguel is going to take the opportunity to go ahead and put a little bet out there and take that pot down. He just kind of wrestled it away from him.
Yep, and that's kind of what can happen when you check back in some situations. I imagine Miguel thought that Charlie would have bet that a lot of the time with all the spades out there if he had a big hand or a hand worth protecting. So when he checks back, he's either trapping or he's going to fold here a bit. And Miguel went with a bigger sizing. It looked like he bid about 2.4 million, which was half of Charlie's stack. So he was really putting him to a decision.
Michelle suited wheel cards. She's going to most likely bring it in for a raise. This is a pretty big raise. Oh, 1 point. Okay, it's not that big.
Yeah, 1.1, and she's starting the hand with 11 big blinds. Oh boy, we got the Rockets, John, with also just over 10 big blinds. Do you ever flat here?
It's a little too early, I think. The low jack. There's just so many players behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I am almost never gonna just flat here. I may 3-bet small.
Yeah, if I did ever flat here, it would be very cheeky, especially if people were still raise folding here. There might be some situations, especially in a mystery bounty. I like flatting big hands. In mystery bounties, if I know there's aggressive opponents behind that are going to squeeze and try to push you out.
Sure.
I don't know if this is the exact spot that I might flat.
Yeah, the problem is
but
you just can't count on the aggressive player finding something to be aggressive with, and so
yeah,
sometimes you're going to find
especially
yourself in a very, very bad spot when you go four-handed to the flop.
True.
And
Very
also
true.
another thing, Drew, in a tournament, I know you said that you like to do this in mystery bounty sometimes when you can get your money all in, but it might be in a cash game when you, like you said, you want to be cheeky. When you're at a final table tournament, you've been playing for days, and there's 1,220 entries. It's not the time to get cute. I think you want to go ahead and make your navigation as easy as you can for yourself.
Rude. I'm taking notes. I'm listening. I need to hear this stuff. I'm being honest. Sometimes I get out of line, get a little too cheeky here and there. When you're right, sometimes just keep it easy. Keep it easy, right? Or keep it simple, stupid, I think is what I've heard before. People
What'd you call me? K. Bruce, as a follow-up, he says he's of the mind that when you raise a small stack, you should be prepared for them to jam. Or am I misthinking? No, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's very reasonable for you to be prepared for them to jam. Now, your response is what you need to also have thought about.
I think that's then a very important point. I think that playing poker and poker hands like chess, thinking several moves ahead, can not only take some of the stress out of the game, but allow you to be prepared for what your opponents might be doing. You kind of already know, oh, I'm raising and calling a jam from small blind. I'm raising and folding to a jam from big blind. I think that's kind of like a fun way to kind of play the game, be a couple steps ahead, makes it much easier. And it's just part of I think, well formulated thought process. I think that is too why we see some crossover between the chess community and the poker community. I think because of the players who kind of connect with gaming and connect with situations like this on like a multi-thought level, thinking steps ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
The doctor, pocket tens on the button.
Uh-oh. What did Robert say? I thought he said something.
I don't know, but he's in his mode. He put the sunglasses on. He hasn't been wearing them all the time.
Oh, he sidesteps one there, doesn't he?
I thought he was going to give him the business there, Rude.
I thought he was too. I really did.
And you know what? That actually, did you see? The doctor made it a little over 3x there. I think if he made it minimum, the 8-9 suited in the big blind finds a call, even though Robert is on about 15 blinds, whereas he makes it a little over 3x. Now it's that situation you brought up earlier where, okay, dang, the pot's bigger. And then now I think subconsciously and on conscious levels, we in the big blind know, all right, if I call here, I'm going to be playing for my stack a lot on the flop. I could just maybe pass on this spot since the raise is bigger and move on. And I think I think that's going to continue to happen a bit, especially with some of these bigger raise sizes we're seeing.
Well said. Oh no, Deja Vu has joined us in the chat. Drew, Deja Vu was here on Thursday, and I got to tell you, I don't get distracted very easily, but somehow, some way, she managed to distract me all evening.
Rude, welcome to Miss Deja Vu.
Welcome to Team Distraction. All right, Robert. He's getting busy with the 4 deuce again, Drew. What's going on here?
Maybe that's his hand, Rude. Maybe he this is just his like random draw hand. Like play it aggressive. This is how he balances out his aggression. He's like, okay, if I get 4 deuce, I'm raising that hand. If I get aces, I'm raising that hand. They'll never know what I'm doing. And I mean, if you see somebody who's playing those hands, he saw the 4 deuce off earlier. Also, Nesbitt in the big blind there. She's got she had like 3 points. Yeah, she had like 10 bigs. So kind of just raising there. Again, it's a situation. He's just putting her to a decision, seeing if she wants to play for all of it. He's got the chips to do it. He's our second place chip stack.
Love that creativity. Roll from the low jack, ace 10 offsuit.
Raul seems like he is quite experienced. He seems patient. I think he's picking his spots. He might be somebody who's kind of quietly going to make a run at this final table. That's my early kind of feel on the situation.
Yeah, I agree. I know he really comes off as a studied player. Again, at the table, doing some things, some of the moves that he makes, just kind of the way he handles himself. Even though he is a young player, he does seem like he puts some time into the game.
Yeah,
he's not just out here, having a good time, just flinging chips around.
He came to win, huh, Rude? Is that what you're saying?
He's here to do some work, bud.
Yeah, I dig it. Look at this. Robert has 7s, calls the button for the 1.1 million. Shell in seat 9 here is having to think with the 10-9 offsuit. She does have some chips committed. Wonder if she's thinking about making a move if she senses that Robert's flat on the button is weak. Oh, she's going to make the call here with some chips already invested.
With so many players that are interested in the pot and have already made the call, I don't think that she, it's really not in her interest to do anything small. Like you can't go for a small raise there. You'd have to really be serious about it, right?
Yeah, she'd have to go all in, I think, if she wanted to raise.
Right. And Robert has the best hand. We're 4 ways to the flop. Shout out to the Garcia family is watching this go down. He's in the lead.
He is in the lead, Garcia family. If you're watching your man right now, but El Doctor is putting on some pressure here, betting his bottom pair backdoor flush draw, one overcard into 3 other players. He bet a chunky amount here, Rude. It looks like it's 5.3 million. He's basically putting everyone to a decision here. This is a tough spot for Robert. Garcia family, you need to put the energy together here and see if your man can find the call. This is a tough spot, Rude. I'm glad this isn't me.
I mean, what's he repping here? A set?
It's interesting because it's a multi-way pot. You know, if he had maybe, we might even see some players with like a set here push really hard because they don't want the straight to get there in the situation. I've seen it before. I don't know if the Doctor would do that, but he gets the best hand to fold.
Robert's going to lay down the 7s.
Look, it's almost like he knows he won the hand already.
Oh, look, he's going to show it. He shows
that's going to be painful for Robert. He knows he had the best hand now.
Well, there's a little bit of doubt. I mean, maybe set of 3s.
Yeah, maybe. You think he? That's an interesting show, actually.
That would be really cool if he. Let's say he did have a set of 3s there, and he just shows 1 3. That's money.
I wonder what I would think in real time if somebody just shows me a 3 there. That's very interesting. I don't know that I would honestly. I don't know that I'm convinced that a lot of players would lead with a set there, despite me definitely having seen people play some flopped really big hands super fast in some situations. I don't know what I would do.
That's the medicine working. That's the medicine. The doctor is on call.
The doctor is here. The doctor is in. The doctor is doing work. Oh, he's getting spicy. I like it. I can feel the doctor's confidence rising here, raising the king jack. He's got 14 million in chips. He smells blood in the water, Rude.
He's moving away. He's leaving the pack behind.
8 fold, 9 fold, 1 fold, 1 fold, 6 fold.
Looks like Kennard is all in with the ace-7 suited for about 8 bigs, and the doctor's going to let him have it.
Doctor folded. He's going to reserve his chips.
It's a big pickup.
What do you think about that fold there? I didn't get a chance to really look at the numbers. Like, what was the 3-bet from Kennard versus
Kennard went all in for 4 million chips. So and I think Miguel, the doctor here, he raised because he had 14.8. He raised it kind of bigger. I think he raised it like 3x at least there.
Oh man, really?
Yeah. I think a lot of old school poker players who maybe aren't versed or haven't played online or had that type of exposure are going to, as a default, be raising a bit more to 3x. Some of the newer age players are going to be making some min raises and some smaller sizings pre-flop. So I think it's going to be pretty standard for a lot of players we're seeing here.
Oh, it's Gabe's turn with kings.
Yeah, he's our short stack. Kennard all in with the ace-7.
Kennard jams in front of him, and Gabe wakes up in the big blind. Poor Kennard had one guy to get through, only the big blind, who wakes up with kings.
All right, Gabe is ready for it. He knows, and he sees the ace. So we all see the ace. Can the kings fade it?
Gabe way in the lead here with kings.
Here we go.
All right, Kennard catches a 7.
Whoa.
I only mentioned that because another 7 would. Oh, that's going to be it for Gabe.
Wow.
Gabe is going to finish in 7th place. GG's, Gabe.
GG's.
Well played.
GG's, Gabe.
Yeah, they're just going to make sure about the chip counts, but we do know that Kennard is going to take it down. And with that, Gabe is going to finish in eighth place for 2,200. That's disappointing.
Hopefully he pulled some big bounties. We don't know what all the players have pulled bounty wise, but hopefully Gabe got some bounties. I mean, if he made it to the final table, quite likely he's gotten at least 1 or 2 pulls. And now Kennard knocking out Gabe. We're going to see a mystery bounty pull, everyone. Show me that mystery bounty. Let's see if he gets the 5K. We should be having Dan, our floor for this tournament. I believe he'll be bringing over some envelopes shortly. Here we go. All right, Rude. I like these moments, man.
Here we go. Pick an envelope, Kennard.
Come on, Kennard. I don't even know what I'm rooting for. I just love these sweats. See what he's got.
Look at his face. Look at his smile.
Let's go, baby. What's he got? Baby booty.
$100. That's the smallest bounty we had in the tournament.
Yeah, take it though.
Okay. Yeah. Add that to the pile.
Yeah, add that to the pile for sure.
Yeah, that was a great spot. Great spot for Gabe.
Gosh, it's painful though. We all know what it's like losing with kings, man. We all know what it's like.
Oh God!
Shout out to Jimmy there. Who's Jimmy rooting on? Miguel, the doctor.
Jimmy is, that's an old school buddy there.
Way better when he's free.
Jimmy offered to trade shirts with me the other day. One of the day ones in this tournament. I forget what shirt I had on, but I remember what he had on. Jimmy had on an old school Metallica. It was like a Ride the Lightning album or something, or one of the older albums. I was like, you know what? That's actually kind of I like your shirt. It's kind of badass. I was like, but we obviously wear different sizes, Rude, so I had to decline.
Yeah. That would have been interesting. You got to get him set up with some noodleware,
I do. I do need to get some more noodle merch. Rude. Don't worry, you're gonna get some. You're at the top of the noodle merch list, okay?
Deja Vu, yes, I've been following along. I see you in the chat. We are actually both remote. I am in my home. Drew is in his home. We have our own little studios that we're working out of. We are not at the card house currently.
Rude, should we let her in? Let her see us. Here, Miss Deja, here we come. Okay, look. Hi, and hello, everyone. Hanging out in the chat, of course. How are you?
Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you're enjoying the action. While we've got you on the screen, while we have us on the screen and your attention, if you wouldn't mind, take a moment, smash that thumbs up button for us. Like us because we like you.
I know. I play pre-roll all the time. No, sir.
Right. Howdy, nudist.
I probably have to go straight to the hospital.
Charlie just took down a pot, by the way. He just jammed the ace-7 of clubs. No calls. So we got another round of chips. I'm going to see Kennard here raising up to what looks like to be 2 million with the ace-6 suited. It is. So he's going 4 times the blind. He's got the chips to do it now, but he's going to run into Raul's ace-queen suited. The question is, Rude, is he going to feel pot committed and call off? Raul taking his time.
Yep,
there it is.
I like it. This is the problem with the raise size that Kennard is selected.
Yeah, and he definitely needs a count at this point. Looks like Kennard, we can see, has to call 3 million with 7.7 million in the pot. It's going to be about a third of his remaining stack, and he decides to make the call.
Yeah, it's over 3-1 on his hand.
Yep.
He's very much dominated. Ace-6 suited against ace-queen suited. This is just, oof.
He's got his own suit though, and he is running good, as we just saw. He cracked the kings with the ace-7, so he knows how to come from behind.
Yep, he does not come from behind. He is a 2-to-1 dog at the moment. He does hit a
Wow,
6.
he does it again. He flops a pair. This time it's going to put him in the lead.
Oh,
Wow, he
that's
does the
it.
same
Game
thing
over.
again.
Game over.
What? He did it twice. The same thing. Flopped a pair with the ace-7, turns trips.
It trips on the turn.
Same
And that's going to
exact
get
thing.
Raul. Raul, who's played so well. Yeah, really with some respect for him. Ghost, you're right. Kennard is running Hoot.
Bring that $5,000 over.
Kennard says, bring that $5,000 over. He's feeling it. Let's see, everyone. We get to sweat this bounty pool. Let's see if Kennard gets the $5,000 bounty.
Oh, we lost our tournament director is out checking on things. Went to go get the envelopes.
And GG's to Raul. Raul, it seemed like you played well from everything we saw. You were a bit handcuffed, but you did get the 5K bounty, so congratulations. And now, thank you, Rude. So what do we got? That's
That's
8th place
Raul.
money, 7th place money,
Raul is in
3250,
7th
right?
place, 2700.
27. Yep, you're right. 7th to 2700. Everyone's locked up 3250 now. Perfect. And then here comes our bounty envelopes. I actually, because of Kennard's confidence here, I hope he pulls the 5K bounty here. You know?
Yeah, can you imagine that? I think that the action at the table is going to really amp up.
Yeah, he's got a... Now we're starting to see what you talked about earlier, Rude. The chip stacks starting to kind of... We're losing the short stacks now, and now we see somebody for, I think, the first time. Actually, earlier in the final table, we had Nesbitt, Michelle in seat 9 was over 30 bigs, and now for the first time in a while, we see Kennard breaking the 30 big blind.
Yeah, well, we did. Miguel was at 32 big blinds for a couple of minutes, and he got involved in a couple of hands. But we do have two. Miguel is at 20. Well, I don't. Let's see, 11.5. I do. He's at 23 big blinds, and Kennard is up to 16 million.
In a really, really good spot. And if he's going to continue to run the way that he ran those last two hands, there is a good shot he's going to take this thing down. He's going to get the trophy. And he's wondering where his 5K bounty is. Here we go. All right. He's like, all right, he's done it again. Let's go. All right. Bounty sweat, everyone. This is exciting. All right, he's trying to find the 5K. He's feeling it. His energy. He's putting it out. He's vibing. There it is. He thinks he found it.
Another 100.
I don't think it's 5K. There we go.
There we go.
Boom. Okay, so we can see it.
One hundo.
One hundo.
He's disappointed, but
I picked 6.
he's still putting money on the pile.
That's the reason I picked 6.
Sure.
I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't even see that a lot of people go through the go.
Yeah, thank you. They know, Rick. They know what's up.
Got Alvi in the chat. John Alvarez says Miguel is going to win a huge pot versus Kennard within 30 minutes, 30 minutes or less.
All right, we got it in writing. Let's see if your prediction is correct.
Don't do it, but just in case. Yeah, we know.
El Doctor with a 4 deuce. Let's see what he decides to do with it.
Situation's a little bit different since the last blind versus blind situation with them. The last one, I think we saw Jack 10 suited versus King Queen suited, but now they are 1 and 2 in chips, and Kennard has position on him.
King 7-3 monotone. Kennard has a big queen or a big heart in his hand, and a bottom pair. Miguel stabbing at the pot against the chip leader.
It's
I
not
don't
going to
know.
work this time.
No one has an ace.
Turn goes check, check.
There's a heart. Is Miguel going to bluff at it?
Looks like he's giving you the answer right now. That looks like nose. Maybe not, Rude. Maybe he's going to
I think
find
he's
one.
wrestling with himself. Nope, he does check. Oh, that's a meaty bet. That's a pot size bet. Over pot, right? He overbet the pot.
4.5 million, yeah. Looks like 4.5, 3.5. Yep, overbet the pot. Shows the queen of hearts as well. Rude. I don't know if you caught that. So
yeah, again, he's got a tendency to do that, doesn't he? He's showing his hand.
Mrs. A in the chat says Kennard wins it all. She's calling it. Well, hello, Mrs. A. He is doing well. He is doing well. Nesbitt all in with the 5 big blinds under the gun. Ace 8 seems like a decent candidate.
Yeah, Michelle entered the final table as the chip leader. She's now the short stack, but she's fighting back here. She jams, is going to pick up much needed chips.
Million chips onto her 2.6 million. Representing the ladies, still here. 6-handed, you can see on the bottom there, everyone. With the big blind 500K. Nesbitt tied with Robert there. They're sitting in seats 8 and 9. And then not too far ahead of them, our middling stacks. We got Charlie over in seat 3, John in seat 1, sitting on under 15 bigs. And we got our 2 bigger stacks here, El Doctor and Kennard, up over 20 bigs.
Kennard has gotten so hot over the last orbit, last couple of orbits, really picking up some big pots. Knocked out 2 players, collected small bounties, but still. Nagafin in the chat asking if the tourney has been longer than the stream. That is correct. We've had this is a final table, the final 9 out of 1,223 entrants. We have an all in from Robert with pocket 7s. He's all in for 4 million. It's a blind versus blind situation, and Michelle has an ace.
Yep. This is, gosh, Rude, a lot of the time here versus a small blind jam. You got less than 10 bigs here. You just toss it in. You just toss it in. It's I don't know that she can get away from it here, and I think she's probably going to come to the same conclusion. They are the 2 shortest stacks.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she makes the call.
Michelle makes the call.
I think she makes the correct call.
Yep. He could do that with king. Any suited king.
All right. So Nesbitt, aka Michelle, is at risk. She needs an ace or running straight cards? Does not get
Sevens are
there.
good. Michelle is
GG's.
eliminated.
Nice run, Michelle. Incredible run. Great game. She's going to take home how much, Rude? In sixth
Michelle's
place.
take home. Got that for you right here.
At least the words are like 10 of them.
Play here. There it is. Coming right up. 3250.
3250 plus whatever bounties, of course, that she pulled.
3,250 for sixth place. Great run. Great run.
So 5 players left. Everyone has locked up 39.
Drew, I think I just heard someone at the table say something about chopping it.
They said the C word, Rude. Chopping. Chat. Type 1 in the chat if you like to chop. Type 2 if you do not chop. 1 means you do chop. 2, you do not chop. If the word came up, Rude, they might be discussing some numbers here. But we do have a bounty, of course. Let's see what Robert ends up pulling. There's still a 5K bounty out there. You get to pull for knocking out Nesbitt. And a one hundo.
That's a little one. Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Another $100 bounty.
They can't find the 5K, Rude. They can't find it.
It's in there. You know, that's an interesting thought, Drew. Okay, so people are saying they don't want to chop. Some people are saying it's a good idea to chop. Now, let's consider this. They know that there's a $5,000 in there.
Yep.
So when you chop, if you chop, you can also decide to chop. You would decide to also chop the remaining bounties.
Yeah, I think that's kind of all part of the negotiating process here at this point, depending on how many chips you have. You know, if you have all the chips, you are in the most powerful situation for negotiations. And then you factor in the 5K bounty. You know who's going to get it. Would everyone chop it? It looks like they're not chopping yet.
Yep, on we go. El Doctor with the ace-10 offsuit from the hijack. Just going to raise it up. We're still at the 250, 500 blind level. Oh, I heard all in from John Outlaw. He's got the pocket jacks. He's all in for over 5 million.
Yep, he's got 11 bigs. The doctor has him covered, and the doctor raised it about 4x. He raised it to 1.9 million, so he might feel committed here.
4 for 12, 3-1. 3-1 here. I don't know. He could easily be dominated with the ace-10. I think that's a good laydown.
I think so too, especially when it makes it so big. And this is again a function of making it that big, is you do force your opponents to have a stronger range of hands when they do go all in, and then you can let it go. I think it is definitely a good fold given the information.
At the bottom of the screen, we can see the updated chip counts there. Kennard still over 17 million, and everyone else has about the same. They're all equally stacked. Robert, El Doctor, John, they all have 8 million. Charlie's at 7 million.
Good to see Charlie still in here. Charlie's been battling. He is the shortest stack, but he's basically tied for second place right now if you look at the stacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tennis. That's definitely been the conversation that we've had a couple times here. Rude has brought it up, talking about the raise sizes. It's like, where's that point? What is efficient, right? You want to raise if your goal is to get folds. You want to raise to the amount that you get the max amount of folds by risking the least, right?
Oh, so I got to ignore Ghost and Deja Vu in the chat.
Ghost is funny, man.
Ghost is a hoot.
Charlie's all in on the big blind. Looks like versus the button raise from Robert. I like it. And you know what, Rude, too? The fact that we heard the word chop come up, depending on who said it, just by bringing it up, you almost present a strategic opportunity for your opponent and you give them some very powerful information. Do you agree with that? Do you feel that?
Absolutely, because especially the fewer players that are remaining, right? You know who to target. Like if somebody is really wanting to lock up a little cash, maybe you know they're going to be a little bit more careful.
They're talking about it now, Rude. I saw John said the word 9,000. Let's listen in.
Not even chop was that ICM chop. I don't know how that works. They just put the chip in. We just pick the last bounty to get out evenly too. That's fine with me. We can look at it. We see that. Yeah. You want to see what the ICM is? Yeah. Yeah, we want to see what the ICM is.
So they're asking the tournament director for an explanation, a breakdown of what the payouts are going to be if they chop it according to ICM distribution. Drew, do you want to discuss what that is, the ICM? What do they mean when they're saying ICM distribution or chop?
Yeah, let me just... Okay, it looks like they are getting conversation. Everybody at the table, so basically everyone at the table needs to confirm that they're down to look at the numbers. And what our floor Dan is going to do right now is Dan is going to count everyone's chip stacks, and then relative to how many chips you have, you're going to get a bigger payout. Chip leader is going to get more money than the shortest stack. So that's basically what ICM is they're just going to go ahead and see what the numbers look like. And then once Dan presents the numbers to the table, is like, hey, this is what the doctor would get. This is what Kennard would get, Charlie, etc. And it would go through. And then the table needs to think about their situation. If they want to just take the money as it's presented, if they want to negotiate. And that's kind of how this situation plays out. And yeah.
So the letters ICM stands for independent chip modeling, and the equity that you derive is a conversion based on the amount of chips that you have relative to the chips that are in play that are converted into real dollars. So that's what Dan is doing right now, doing the calculation. There's a program for that. There's an app for that. There's an app for everything.
Very nice. There is an app for that. And we're going to see Dan count out these chips. He's going to plug it into the program he has on his app, and we might see a deal. But you know something else, Rude? I am a collector. So there's another variable in this situation that I take into my decision making in spots like this. I want the trophy.
Yeah.
And if I don't have the chip lead and I can't get the trophy, even though I don't mind chopping, especially if the players remaining are a bit more on the recreational side, even though I know that's kind of counter what most would think, I kind of don't mind it. But I really want to play for the trophy. So I will definitely turn down some deals so that I have an opportunity to play for that trophy. And it's obviously easier too. If I think I have an edge at the table, I might be a middling stack, but I think that I can maneuver versus the players so I can get the trophy and get more money. Then, I'm going to probably turn down the deal more often.
Right. If you feel you have an edge. The other thing is that they can set aside a certain amount. So they can set aside, let's say, $1,000 or $2,000 from the remaining purse, whatever's there, and then also the trophy. So they would separate. Let's pick a number. Let's just say that they separate $2,000 and the trophy. So they'll do an ICM chop with the remaining money, and then play for what's left, the 2,000 plus the trophy.
Yep, that is definitely another option. Yep, 100%. I would lean towards that one versus the prior scenario that I presented for sure. I just got to play for the trophy, man. Whatever that looks like, we're gonna chop up some money, set some aside, play for the trophy, battle it out.
Okay, let
I'm
me
all
ask
for
you
it.
this, Drew. In this situation, we know what the chip stacks are like. We know that they're very, very close. Kennard is far and away the leader, but the other guys are pretty even. They're all at about 8 million chips, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So let's say you're one of the 8 million chip guys, you personally,
Yep.
bet on Drew, and you're in here against some of these, the players that are here.
Yeah.
Are you going to be more likely to try to, at 8 million chips, to try to make a run? Are you going to try to get up in there and move up a little bit? Are you going to vote for or against a chop?
I am going to feel comfortable with proceeding and not chopping.
89.90.
But again, I'm kind of like a nice guy in the sense that if I knew that the rest of the table was like 4 recreational players, maybe even I'm so like not always considering the money. Like if I was tired, I had something going on the next day, I thought this was going to take forever, I really go through like a laundry list of things in my mind.
Some people have a job they got to show up for at 8 a.m.
Yeah, if it was like me and like 4 of my closest friends, I would love nothing more. Let's say I'm presenting another scenario.
Yeah.
I would love for nothing more than me and the boys to all win. Do you know? So that's another scenario where if
I thought you were going to go a different direction. I thought you were going to say you and the boys are going to bash each other's brains out until there's one guy standing and looking down at the other guys.
Well, you know what would end up happening likely is I'd be okay with us chopping the money, but we for sure have to battle for the trophy. You see? The trophy is such a huge variable in this scenario. If there's no trophy up top, whatever you guys want to go home, like if I was playing the Big 50 that's going on right now, the $160 buy-in,
only
10K
cash is
guaranteed.
being awarded.
Only cash is being awarded. There's really nothing to win up top. I know people. So we have this Big 50 tournament at Rounders on Mondays, 10K guaranteed. And I know people have to go to work Tuesday. I'm not really going to battle too much over like a $400 difference in payout in that spot. You see what I mean? Like, okay, you guys want to chop? I don't care. I'm going to go eat some food and then I'm going to go home and sleep. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got 89.10.
What about you, Rudy? You telling him no?
Well,
you will miss work tomorrow. I'm not chopping. Drew said he's chopping, so I'm not chopping. Like, where are you at on that?
Well, here's the thing. This is where I stand. It's hard to get heads up in a tournament. Consider where you started. You came from 1,223 players, and now you have an opportunity to get heads up.
Yep.
And you're going to play for $20,000. $20,000, or if you do an ICM chop, it's going to really diminish the top side significantly. The ICM generally favors the short stack. They're going to get favorable treatment. It's just a calculation. It just works. Look, we got happy.
I see some smiling faces.
We got congratulations. It looks like the chop has been agreed on.
Yeah, it does. It does. Congratulations to our final 5 players here. Charlie Kennard, John Outlaw, we got El Doctor, and Robert Garcia, our final 5 players that are going to chop it up. And Rude, I think we got the numbers somewhere.
We do have the numbers. Yeah, we've got seat 1 is John Outlaw. He's going to walk away with $8,910.
Okay.
Seat 2 is Charlie. $95.20 for him.
Let's go, Charlie.
Seat 6, El Doctor Miguel Candelario, $8,990. Call it a 9K hit. Seat 7 is Kennard. He's going to be largely the chip leader. $12,500.
Nice.
Going to be the biggest take. Seat 8 is Robert. $8,570.
Okay.
Plus 1080, so it looks like he's at about $9,600 in his take.
I think he's getting the 8570, and then the players, those 5 players, are chopping up the remaining bounties, and they're all
that makes sense.
An additional 1,080 on top of.
Add $1,000 to every number I just read out.
Yep, exactly. So, everyone gets the 1080. Perfect. We got that confirmed from Director Chad. And look at these smiles. Let's go, everyone. Another successful tournament. Everyone's happy. 5 people going home. with over 5-figure score. These players, depending on the bounties that they pulled prior to the final table, they are basically getting the $10,000 and $12,000 plus. Who knows? I mean, Kennard, I imagine, knocked out quite a few players. He might have pulled 5K or something. He might have had the 20K day here.
Yeah. He very well may have. There's no telling.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this was a lot of fun. This was an entertaining final table. I think there was some really good poker being played. I didn't see any obvious mistakes. I didn't see anybody that didn't look like they knew what they were doing. Everybody
For sure
did a good job.
Yeah.
Acquiring chips, making moves. They weren't just waiting around for aces or kings. Even the guys who were early departures, some really good players were knocked out early.
For sure, 100%. And we got some happy faces. By the way, everybody, if you enjoyed this final table stream, can you please do us a favor and hit the like button, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be live again this coming Thursday with the 125 cash game stream from Rounders Card Club. We appreciate your support. If you're watching us on Twitch, YouTube, you know what I mean, just hit the follows, turn on the notifications.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in, especially Deja Vu. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Yep.
No, really, honestly, appreciate it, guys.
Make sure you follow the Rounders socials as well, because we will be posting the winner's photo in a little bit. And we also had a bunch of bounty pull, which are very exciting moments that we posted on the Rounders channels tonight. Great stream, Rude. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Yep, good time. Thank you for stopping in and carving out a little time to hang out. I appreciate it as always. Great playing catch with you, throwing some poker ideas back and forth. There's a little quick shot, a glimpse of the trophy walking into the final table. That's a handsome trophy.
It is, with Chris, our handsome dealer here, the gentleman bringing the trophy out. Looks like he's setting it in Kennard's seat. Kennard did take the most, so it looks like he's going to take the trophy here, right?
They must have determined that the chip leader was going to take home the trophy. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Perfect. I dig it. Yep.
I like it a lot too. Well, that's going to be it for us tonight. For the rest of the Rounders Tonight team, I want to thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you next time, Thursday night. All right.
Yep. See you guys.
Good night, everybody.